we read through the Bible, there are some days when we read a few chapters and we learn some new truth. Other days we read and we're challenged by something. Still others we just maybe appreciate the goodness of God a bit more. But then there are some days when the love of God just seems to leap off the pages and we are in awe of His compassion and His mercy and His incredible patience. Today's reading in Jeremiah is one of those days. Throughout Jeremiah, remember, the Lord has been warning His people that they're going to be taken away into exile because of their constant idolatry, because of their sin, because of their rebellion, and because they continually refuse to repent and return to the Lord. Just like today, there were so many false prophets who were giving false hopes to God's people. They were saying, God's not going to judge you. In fact, He's just going to do nothing but fill your lives with good things and with blessings. But the Lord did judge His people, and the armies of Babylon came and carried them away. So then in chapter 29, another false prophet says, don't worry, you're only going to be in Babylon for 2 years. Well, then the Lord speaks through Jeremiah and says, actually, you should go ahead and plant vineyards and build houses in Babylon because you're going to be there for a while. 70 years you're going to be there. But that's not the end of the story, He told them, because I know the plans that I have for you. And my ultimate plan for you is not judgment and exile. My plan for you is to give you a hope and a future. That promise gets distorted by so many people, but we need to understand that He wasn't promising them degrees and job promotions and lots of money deposited into their bank accounts. The hope and the future that He's promising is infinitely better than that. He was assuring His people that He was going to keep His long-term promise to bring them back home to Himself as His people. Even though they have continually rejected Him, He says to them in chapter 30, don't be dismayed. I'm going to save you. You're coming home with me. I'm with you. You deserve this exile because of your sinful hearts, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to heal your hearts. I'm going to forgive you. I'm going to have compassion on you. I'm going to bring you home, and you will be my people, and I will be your God. Chapter 31, He tells them that He has never stopped loving them. Even when they were at their worst, He says, I have loved you with an everlasting love, and I still love you today. He says, I scattered you because of your sin, but now I'm going to gather you to myself like a shepherd gathers his flock. You will no longer stumble because I'm going to lead you on a straight path, and I'm doing that because I am your Father and because you are my child. And listen to His heart in verse 20. He says, as often as I have spoken against my child Israel, in other words, as bad as this kid has continually been, I can never forget him. My heart yearns for him still, and so I am going to have mercy on him. Not by giving him another chance to try and do better, but by actually changing his heart and making him better. I'm going to make a new covenant with my people. But I'm not giving them more laws written on stone. I'm going to write my law on their hearts. I'm going to forgive their sins so completely that it will be as if I don't even remember what happened. And how certain is this promise? Well, the Lord knew that His people would wonder. That they would wonder, is it possible that the Lord will remember our sinfulness and that He'll decide to repay us for everything we've done in the past? Is it possible that the Lord will just get sick of us and say, you know what? You are no longer my people. God says through Jeremiah, yeah, that's possible. The day the sun stops coming up in the morning, the day that the moon and the stars stop lighting up the night sky. In other words, He's saying that's never going to happen. And in Hebrews chapter 10, He says that promise through Jeremiah is made absolutely certain because of what Christ has done for us at the cross. One sacrifice for all sins, for all time. And then He repeats that promise from Jeremiah 31, and He says, this is the new covenant that I was talking about. Because of the cross, I will remember their sins no more. And to we who live on the other side of the cross, to we who know the Christ who is the fulfillment of that promise to Jeremiah, He says, therefore let us draw near with full assurance of faith. Let us hold fast to our hope until the end. For one reason, because He who promised is faithful.